Good morning, happy Tuesday, and welcome to another weekly episode of Live with Lisa. And you'll see that lately I'm bringing some friends into the group. It's not just me coming in and talking about visibility all on my own, but today we have Stephanie Mojica joining us, the host of Get Their Attention Now. And Stephanie, I'm just going to go straight in from the jump. We'll get to some details in a second, but this group is all about building your authority and getting visibility. And I know you're working on an event called Get Their Attention Now. So my question for you, first off, is what is the thing that you are seeing people do wrong when it comes to trying to get attention for themselves, their businesses, and their offers?
So I think what people are doing wrong is they're not being consistent. Like they're getting live, going live once in a while. They're not being consistent. They'll do what's called post and ghost. You know what I mean? On Instagram or Facebook, they'll post something, get a bunch of comments, but then they're not responding and interacting with people. They're also relying on maybe one or two things instead of a group of visibility tactics. So yeah, my business Get Their Attention Now. The event is the Visible Authority virtual event. And yeah, there's just so many ways to get visibility and build authority. And I think just a lot of people are confused, overwhelmed, don't know when to do something, what to do. And I think the biggest mistake is just being inconsistent, just thinking that one thing is going to work once in a while.
So let's talk a little bit about consistency. What would you say? Like, I know when I hear from people who are in this community, something that I hear a lot is I feel like I'm doing all the things. I'm doing the reels and the stories and the lives and the TVs, and it's not converting. So in terms of consistency, what would you say is a good schedule of posting? How frequently should someone be on a specific platform to be consistent with it?
That's an excellent question. That's definitely something myself and a lot of folks will be going over. But yeah, I would say every day is ideal, but if you can't do it every day, try to do something 5 days a week, like post on Instagram, for instance, 5 days a week. I'll be honest, I don't know about much about reels. I'm actually just getting them where I am. I'm from the United States, but currently I'm living in South America, and most of the continent didn't get reels until recently. So I just think, and if you are posting frequently, I would really consider what are you posting, because it needs to be something that's helpful to people, but not so helpful that they want to go solve the problem themselves. I think that's like a mistake that a lot of people make. They like teach everything they know for free, and then there's no incentive for people to convert.
So there are so many different ways to get visibility and to get attention. What would you say are the top three ones that are converting for you and your clients?
I would say podcast interviews are definitely converting for me and my clients, and I know we talked about that. So podcast interviews, for me, Instagram lives, but other people it's Facebook Live. You just have to find your platform, and then also, well, I work mainly with clients who are writing and publishing books, so their books are converting pretty well. But another thing that's converted really well for me, because I don't have a recent book, is a social audio app called Clubhouse.
Okay, yeah, I know a lot of people got onto that for a little while. It's for me it was kind of like I heard about it a lot and then it kind of went away. So is that something you're finding people are still really consistent with?
And I'll admit, yeah, I mean, once the app went public, I did get fewer conversions, so I did start spending less time on the app. But I mean, I do at least one room a week still, regularly scheduled on a Sunday through a club called Club Pod. And Sunday, we were talking about the Visible Authority virtual event in the Clubhouse room, and a few people signed up, and one of them signed up for a $167 upgrade package. So it still works. I wouldn't devote, if you were like on it February, March, April, May, I wouldn't devote hours upon hours a week to it the way I was, because it was almost like a money machine before the first app went to Android. And then when they took away the invite only, like it really became the wild, wild west. And some people got ripped off. So now people on Clubhouse are a bit more wary of buying, but it still works. It just needs to be one piece in your strategy. And Clubhouse doesn't work for everybody. There's some people who are awesome salespeople on video and don't do well on Clubhouse.
It's funny to hear you say that because I'm guessing you're an iPhone user.
Yes, I'm an iPhone user, so I didn't get on as early as some people, but yes, I was on in February.
So I'm an Android user, team nothing Apple. So I remember at one point, my fiance at the time was like trying to see if he could get it on his iPad for me. But by the time I hopped on Android, I was like, oh, okay, well, I can see how I can imagine how it's a little bit watered down now versus what I've been hearing from my peers before who were all team Apple.
Exactly. And I have ethical issues with Apple, but for me, it's just, I like my iPhone.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, no, everyone has their preference. So I'm Android, I'm PC. It's not an ethical thing. It's just a preference. So whatever. We all get to make our choices. So Stephanie, I kind of just threw you in here. I just started asking you rapid fire questions because I know that our audience really wants the details. So tell us a little bit more about who you are and what inspired you to host this event that's coming up.
So, like I said earlier, I'm Stephanie Mojica. I'm a book development coach, and what that means is I help folks, especially coaches, consultants, and other experts, increase their visibility, credibility, and market reach through writing and publishing a book. I mean, I've had people get 30,000 of new business like within a couple months of publishing your book. So that's just one visibility strategy. The reason I decided to host a Visible Authority virtual event is I've been a guest in numerous summits and on numerous podcasts. And I met some people in those events and just realized that I really wanted to put one on. I think it's great to be on other people's stages, which I tend to prefer, but I think it's also important to host your own event, to put yourself out there as the authority. I'm not going to lie to you, it's scary. I have been fat shamed throughout this process, which I find completely ridiculous because what does my weight have to do with writing and publishing? But, there's just, my coach likes to say, the more visible you get, the more haters you get.
I totally remember the time I got my first FU email and I was like, okay, well, we're pulling some strings, we're having some opinions, we're making a difference. Okay, it's going to happen eventually. You can't rise without having some haters along the way. So I actually really appreciate that you're sharing that, just because I think so many times as a coach or as somebody who's on lives regularly, we have this tendency to make it look like it's so easy, it's not hard, nothing bad happens, it isn't scary for us. So it's really awesome that you're sharing that even for you, somebody who's been doing this for a while, it can be scary to put yourself out there. And again, I think that's something that really a lot of us experience, but it's actually moving through the fear of being seen that's going to make the impact and the difference that you wanted to in your business. Like, something that I'm always telling my audience and my people is you can't be the best kept secret and have an amazing business.
Exactly. That's the theme of the Visible Authority virtual event. We literally have that on the opt-in page, people tired of being the best kept secret. And there's like strategies that people are teaching for those of us who hate video. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I love being on video. I don't. But it's, there's tons of other strategies too if it's something you're really, really opposed to or need some time to get used to. So yeah, I believe there's something for everybody.
So what are some of the different content categories and topics that you're going to be covering over the course of, I believe it's 3 days that the event is happening, and tell us what the dates are too.
Yes, it's 3 days, October 25th, 26th, and 27th. You can learn more by going to gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. Lisa will also be putting in her special link so she can get credit. But if you're dying to go there now, you can go to gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. So it's 3 days. It's totally free. October 25th, 26th, and 27th. Right now, we have 33 mini masterclasses. It's not just a bunch of people talking. I've made sure everybody gave action steps you could use right away. So we have people talking about podcasting and TikTok, Clubhouse. I obviously talk about books. One lady is talking about blogging and some other strategies, LinkedIn, multiple things about Instagram, like Instagram Reels, Instagram Lives, Instagram hashtags. We've got Facebook Lives, Facebook ads, Facebook groups. And then, so there's a ton of things. A couple of people are talking about putting on summits and challenges. So yeah, we have 33 handpicked topics.
And that's amazing, because there's truly no shortage of ways of getting visibility. And it's so awesome that people will have an opportunity to hear about different ways, really think into what lands with them. Because for some people, like, you're taking a stretch and going on video, even though it's not your comfort zone. For other people, they might run for the hills. So there maybe podcasting or something like that might be a better alternative for them. So I love that you're having so many different ways. Yes, Ginger had to join the live this morning. They were talking about so many different ways of actually getting seen. so that we can get in front of the people that we're meant to serve.
Exactly. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I still don't like getting on video, but I have a coach. I'm one of those coaches that I only sell what I'll buy. And that's a whole nother topic, because a lot of people are selling services they've actually never bought. And then there's like a disconnect. But seriously, it's like she kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And finally, I just started making myself do it. I have noticed an increase in income. I think even from people I already know, people I knew for like 8-9 years, like in real life, I would make text posts and, photo posts and stuff. But when I started going on video, then even some of those people from years ago reached out to me. So I think it just shows that we're human beings. We're not like bots. They know it's actually me talking, and I didn't hire somebody to I just think it really lends authenticity.
That's such a smart comment, and something I hadn't even thought about myself as much. So when I started, and again, consistency, that landed with me when you said it, because that's the thing I get to be a little bit more of. But when I was being a little more consistent with doing like an Instagram story every day, for example, watch Lisa's Instagram later, I promise I will do one. I noticed people that I knew from university, people that I met even just a few years after university, and where else did I know somebody from? 3 people from past lives in any event ended up hiring me to work with me. And it was so interesting. It's because they saw what I was doing, and I was putting myself out there and just being visible and having that casual conversation. So it's important. I think it's important to highlight video can build such amazing connection with people, because they actually get a sense of who you are and what you're like and what your energy is like. For a number of people who come into my community, they often feel like, oh, who am I to put myself out there? Somebody else is already saying the same thing. There's already so many people doing that. But the truth is, who you are and the way that you communicate things will land differently with different people. And there are going to be those people who are the haters and you're not theirs. And that's fine. Bless them, and they can find the right people, but you are going to connect with the people who are right for you and who are attracted to you.
Exactly. And actually we have I do have a couple of mindset presentations, and one of them is about kick imposter syndrome to the curb. So because I think imposter syndrome is like something that stops a lot of people from moving forward as well. Feeling like, well,
Absolutely.
why me? Well, why not you?
That's one of the things I find I train on the most, the actual part of having confidence with putting yourself out there and to be able to feel good doing it. So I love that you're going to be talking a little bit more into that, along with your team of 33 experts who's going to be sharing all about how to get visible.
Exactly.
So Stephanie, share with us that URL one more time, so people who want to stop being the best kept secret and actually build a name as an authority, as an expert for themselves, and start being seen for the right people, where can they sign up for the event?
So again, it's the Visible Authority virtual event. It's totally free. You go to gettheirattentionnow.com/summit. That's gettheirattentionnow.com/summit.
Awesome. And guys, I will be dropping the link in here. I'm excited to be one of the people who's speaking at that event. And as we've alluded to a handful of times, we're going to be talking about podcasts, which is the number one way that both my clients and I are converting the fastest right now. It's been amazing to work with people. And it's like, how did you hear about me? They're like, I listened to you on a podcast a week or two ago. I'm like, okay, proof positive. Now we're working together. Let's get you doing some more of that. So I'm excited to be sharing those secrets in the training. So Stephanie, thank you so much for coordinating this event and putting it together. And what are those dates one more time?
October 25th, 26th, and 27th. And feel free to reach out to Lisa or myself if you have any questions. And yeah, we'd love to have you there.
There is literally no reason for you not to go. If you're a member of the Build Your Authority online community, that's literally what this is helping with.
And it's pre-recorded, so you have 24 hours, to watch at your leisure.
And one more thing that I just want to highlight for everyone before we close off this video today is the importance of collaboration over competition. How much do I love that Stephanie, a number of the other experts in there, we all do something very similar, but we have our own flair on it and our own methodology and our own strategy. So if you're somebody who values the content that you get and Build Your Authority online, you're absolutely going to be getting a ton of value from this event as well. It's going to complement what I've been sharing with you. So Stephanie, thank you again so much for hopping in the group today for our weekly Live with Lisa show. It was fun to have somebody to interview today.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me, for being part of Visible Authority virtual event.
Oh, so excited for it. So guys, I'll drop a link into the comments as soon as we're off of this live training today, and I will see you at the event next time. Steph, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.